Okay. So I never got to sit with Peter, or I'm not sure, Peter. Are you going to moderate online? Well, I mean, wherever. As long as you can see the church chat and this chat to respond, in case anybody says anything, be good. Both chats, though.
So did everybody, all the voting members get a
So
agenda?
I need to teach you how to moderate.
Get one?
What we need to do.
Everybody else has an agenda?
We're 1 minute away from being late.
Okay, that's the full agenda, and this is one of the resolutions.
So when people go, you have to write down what they voted. And you can even go to the back of the piece of paper. You have to write it on the paper. Okay? I'll find you a piece of scrap. Or a good piece of paper instead of that. When people vote. There's only like 3 or 4 things that we're going to be voting on, essentially.
Peter, do you need your stuff up front?
Oh, right. So, is it live yet? Yeah, let's put it over there. I'm going to be, just, you don't have to move the camera or anything, because we're all going to be over here. You know. Check, check. Okay, that's good. Folks, let us be in the spirit of prayer. Heavenly Provider and gracious host, we thank you for gathering us today. We thank you for all of our amazing brains that you have created in us and all the amazing thoughts that come from them. We ask that you take all those amazing 1,000,001 points of light and cast them into one brilliant glow that will help light up all of Oakland Beach and beyond. All this we ask in your holy name, in the name of the one who saves us, Jesus the Christ. Amen. Couple of things. We're going to be doing things a little differently this year than we have, in the sense that we're going to be voting on things in our church chat. So I encourage everyone to please go to the church chat now and vote to start this meeting. Our moderator is going to start that poll. Did you know how to do that? No. When you start a poll, you're going to go into your group chat, and the text chat like this. Press the poll button. I can start the first poll now. Yes. The Wi-Fi password is Church of Warwick. Church of Warwick, capital C. Church of Warwick. Deco Extender is the closest you can get. If you can see UCC Warwick and connect to that, then all the things that you can connect to are Church of Warwick. All just capital C. Yes. Church of Warwick. Yep. Just capital C. And so for the first poll, to make a poll, you go to the church chat on your phone or on your device. You right click, see the plus button, press the plus button, press poll. Okay? Poll question is going to be, I'm going to do the first poll, look and see. Poll question is going to be, do we start the annual meeting? Begin annual meeting. Yes? No. All right, I haven't done it yet. I'm still creating this poll. Now it should be there. We should all see that. Okay. So I ask everyone to please, if anybody's having issues now, Speak now or forever hold. Also, for those of us that don't have a device that can't vote on this, we can also take a raise of hand if you'd like. I would prefer to do it this way, just to keep it all streamlined, we don't have 8 different places. I was thinking in the event that Lillian and Sue were here, though, we could use paper voting, but it's only a couple things. Okay. So right now, there are There are 14 members present. So our clerk, or somebody who's taking minutes, can please note that our annual meeting started at 11:36 a.m. with "13 voting members present, which is enough to begin the annual meeting. So far, I have 5 of you that have voted. 5 of you have voted. Yep, now 7. Yes. He's confirmed. Well, I would like to do a reconfirmation. All right. So then what we can do for Nathan is, we can do voting, we can just raise a hand, yes or no. And then we can tabulate Nathan's vote as well with our online thing. So I'll keep track, and I'll direct Peter to add 1 tally to whatever yes or no column, and that way you can be involved too. Or we can add you to the church chat if you want. It's up to you. Yes, Has anybody not voted? Please raise your hand. Okay. 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 So we have 2 people who are going to vote in paper, and the rest will vote online? Is that what we're doing? Okay. So, okay. We're still at 7. I'm going to vote yes. Okay. Yep, Tom is there. So far, here's who has voted. Me, Joe Volpe, Tom, Brianna, Stephanie, Peter, Leslie, Danielle, Lynn, and Craig. Okay. So that leaves out Sandy. You voted. Okay. So 12 votes for yes, plus 2 paper votes for yes. Okay. So altogether we have 14 votes for yes. So we're going to use Robert's rules to the best of our ability here today, and if you don't know what that means, it's okay. It just is a way that we're going to conduct this meeting in a legal standard fashion that all meetings from nonprofit organizations are conducted. So our first test of that is good. Before us today, in addition to all the things we're talking about, are 2 resolutions, which are printed in your group chat. Also, I've given out paper copies to everybody. So these are things to consider as we make our way through, and we'll get to that as well when we get voting. I don't see it listed in the official minutes yet to where we should cast that vote for these resolutions. So maybe we can just do it with other business. So these will be cast during other business. And they are the resolution to add new committees to the slate of church officers and committees, and also to rename the Board of Trustees as Leadership Committee. So if I could ask do we have minutes from the previous meeting? From the previous annual meeting? Okay. So I vote and motion that that we do not read the minutes from the previous meeting, that we omit that. So yes, that requires a second, and now we vote. Yes? Okay. Anybody opposed? Okay. So there are 14 gathered here today. The yes have it, so 14 yes on omitting minutes from the previous meeting. And moving forward. We'll start off with our treasurer's report.
All right. All right, so for 2025, we had 8 pledges made for a total of $5,864. Offering envelopes were given out to all the members, and we collected a total of $4,493 through the pledge envelopes. Online donations totaled $125. And of that $125, there was a fee to GoDaddy that is, I think, 10% of each donation. So what we actually took in was, what was donated was a little bit more, but we only got the $125. How to say that? Our total expenses for 2025 were $39,417, and our income was $40,667. That left us a difference of $1,310 in our favor. So separate from that, that's our what we call our ordinary income. Our restricted income, which last year was made up of Living Waters donations, which then gets passed on to our Living Waters fund, investment fund, and then some money donated towards specifically building and mission funds. And that was a total of $1,125. So for a net income of $2,435.40. One of the things that I want to note is that part of our expenses is not, because some of our miscellaneous, not miscellaneous, but everyday, day-to-day expenses gets paid for by you all in-kind donations. So somebody miraculously puts another ream of paper at the copier. It doesn't come out of this budget. Somebody else is, in-kind buying the toilet paper. So, so the actual, operating of this is a little bit more than that, but because of in-kind donations, it keeps it down. So the new budget is at the, I guess we do that separately, the proposed budget?
The proposed budget's done, yes.
Separately. Okay, so I move to accept the financial, any questions for the financial report? I propose that it's accepted as read.
Motion to accept as written. I second the motion. All in favor?
Thank you.
Any opposed? We're voting in the tablets, please, yes. On your places. And this is so that we can keep an accurate record of our voting, which is required by law if we are a nonprofit. We should be keeping accurate minutes of our voting, our tabulations, all that. In case we ever get audited or anything like that, we could, get into some serious trouble for not having this information. Would you like to read the auditor's report, or? Okay. So we have done an audit this year as well, and on behalf of the auditing committee, Lynn Harrigan will read the auditor's report.
Okay. Auditor's report. An audit was conducted by the audit committee at the request of Leslie Zanella because of an alleged cash shortage in the amount of $2,108.80. We concluded that the money was not missing, but was instead mislabeled in the computer. We have taken steps to ensure our numbers are accurate to date now in all accounts, but Leslie will continue to reconcile each year, going back to 2020, to see if an error can be found there. Respectfully submitted, Pastor Michael Ash, myself, Lynn Harrigan, and Peter Pond. I request, are there any questions, first of all? So we did take the time to go through everything, and everything, we didn't find anything, and we feel that it is just a mislabeling. So I request that this respectfully be submitted and accepted.
Motion to accept it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then please refer to the poll. Please refer to the poll, cast your vote. We've lost some of our voting members here. So we are now down to 12. We have let the record reflect. We're now down to 12 voting members. I think, right? 13 voting members. Yes. So folks, this will be my last year moderating this meeting. It has been my absolute pleasure to be the executive, all that jazz. But I've spoken to many people in the church, and I'm not sure if anybody's noticed. I think I sent it to the trustees, but not to everybody. But there's actually a story about a man selling hats, and in this story, he has all these hats on his head, at like 20 hats high. And somewhere in the story, he's sitting down to rest by a tree because he's so exhausted, and monkeys take all these hats, and they mess with him, and they play games with him. Well, he eventually organizes the hats, and, whatever. So the point I'm making is, some of us in this church are wearing all the hats. Many hats, way too many hats. And we are really, really, really weighed down. It was done during a time where there weren't so many people in the church. Well, now we are a growing congregation, and we have plenty of people, whether they come here every Sunday, or whether they come once in a while, or whether they just watch online. We have a lot of people in church now who can do these jobs and wear these hats. So part of these resolutions is an attempt to separate some of those hats, to give away some of those hats to people where they belong. We've got some people doing jobs that don't belong to them, and some people are, and that's great. We really do encourage everyone to help each other out as much as possible. But what ends up happening is only one or two of us end up doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, and that's not fair. So to try to release the burden from some of us that are doing all this lifting, we're going to separate and space out these hats. Yes. So, but I just wanted to say that this is my last time as moderator, because next year I would like to work with somebody throughout the year to elect next year's moderator to cover this meeting. To be a moderator, you have to understand Robert's rules, which is really, really easy to explain. It's got like a 2-page little cheat sheet that goes along with it, and it takes 10 minutes to explain to somebody. It's just when to call a vote, when not to call a vote, when you need a second and when you're not, and things like that. And always make sure that you're keeping minutes for everything. But with that said, I'm happy to be your moderator for this year. Our next report is from our publicity team, which, do we have anybody from the publicity committee? Do we have anybody that would like to speak on behalf? Okay.
Just kind of short and sweet. Peter bought a bazaar banner to hang out on the fence. We looked into that, and we can get them reasonably inexpensive at Walmart, and that cost us $45. I am still in communication with Simplicity Signs regarding a large outdoor sign to replace the one that the mail truck took down. I always have to tag that. To make announcements, so the public knows what we're actually doing as they drive by. I reconnected with him. He apologized for kind of letting us go by the wayside, and he said he would bring that back to his the forefront. And we did not spend any other money on publicity this past year, not counting paper flyers and stuff. Again, that was kind of in kind, in-house flyers. Not that anybody, I didn't pay any bills to the Beacon. Yeah. Yeah. So, any questions about publicity? It's something that we're working on. All right, I motion that the report from publicity be accepted as read.
I second the motion. We will all vote and turn to our tabulators. Okay. So far, we have 8, which is the majority. Does anybody else need more time? The motion carries. Up next is our trustees report. And again, this will be my last time standing up here leading this group because the resolution is going to separate that a little more to give that. So during 2025, we made some mild to major changes all over the church in our attempts to migrate our worship style into one that is more modern and all-inclusive, while still valuing the core elements of a traditional worship. Combining the two has been successful in helping aging Christians feel solidly connected to our church while facilitating growth from younger generations who are used to a more uplifting and inclusive style. We believe that this has created a very inclusive space and worship and has left no one behind, which can easily happen during such a major transition. It's happened in the past in this church where we have tried to make major transitions and a lot of people felt left out. And so we have, since the beginning and since our very first step out of our box, we've said, if anybody's uncomfortable, we can take a step back. So we have not had to take any steps back, but we are still slowly moving forward. Our minister of music this year, Jonathan Miller, retired after over 20 years of service to our community to start his own HVAC business. He not only served as an organist, but like many of us, wore many hats. Jonathan helped to fix, maintain, and keep not only the organ and piano running, but also the plumbing, the lighting, anything else that came out along the way. We thank him for his many, many years of service, and we wish him well on his future endeavors and send him forth with God's love and grace. We hired Thomas Jones as Minister of Music to help further our approach to a more upbeat and modern worship style. Tom's music and ambient sounds throughout worship have been well received and help make the worship experience much more rich and full. He has worked with other members of the church to form a vocal choir, which meets Saturday mornings to help people sing and lead others with more confidence. We have not needed any major repairs this year, but have continued to make repairs and updates throughout the sanctuary. I'm going to knock on some wood real quick, because halls and classrooms, when time, talent, and treasure become available to do so, and are making major progress in most areas. Our area of highest concern is still our downstairs classroom, and the children continue to learn in fellowship hall until the wall can be sealed and put back together. We've updated our multimedia equipment, new soundboard, amplifier, live sound card, new AI-driven webcam, which fights with me every Sunday, microphones and other sound equipment, wires and whatnots. The only cost to the church was for the webcam, which was $110. This was in an attempt to massively improve our online worship presence, which was previously laggy and buggy. Let's be real, folks. If you check our views, every week we exceed over 100 views. So that means that 100 people are worshiping with us from home. That's a lot of people that deserve a good quality worship, and they're choosing us to worship with. So we want to make sure that they feel just as connected and welcome in this church, whether at home or in the building, as we all do, that do come every Sunday. These improvements have dramatically improved worship for those unable to attend worship services, and we look forward to growing in our faith, and in our fellowship, and in our community with God's grace and mercy. Respectfully submitted, Pastor Michael Ash, and other members of the Leadership Committee, Trustees Board. So I motion to accept this report as written. All in favor, please turn to your tabulation devices and vote. Bless you. And the paper votes vote yay or nay? A yay? Okay. So we have, so far, no no's. So far, we have 10 yeses. Report is submitted and the motion carries. Up next is our, is that it? Minister of Music. No, our deacon's report, sorry. Our deacon's report.
All right, so during the year, we took a survey of our congregation, and the survey overall score was 4.513, which was very amazing. In completing them, you have affirmed that we are indeed heading in the right direction. However, we are lacking in the community missions area. To remedy this, Pastor Michael has proposed that we host one free breakfast a month held before worship, and maybe a few more impromptu bagel breakfasts if we're able to get a grant. We are also planning on starting a community closet, which has started by Ms. Stephanie. And so if anybody wants to help volunteer for either of those events, you can see Stephanie for the community closet as she tries to get that in appearance. It's up and yeah, it's up and running, but not glory. Okay, yes. Okay. So you can see either Stephanie for the closet or one of the deacons for the other functions. Questions? Thank you. Any other questions on that? On members, we currently have 16 active members. We average between 40 and 100 views a week online. We transferred out 2 members, Robin and Bobby Fox, and 4 members currently transitioned last year to a new spiritual home as they are blessed with new houses too far away to attend. We gained 2 members, Lynn and Brianna. This is we, but Pastor Michael performed 2 baptisms, a funeral, and a wedding last year. For fundraising, we held 2 suppers, a bazaar, and did 1 Savior's Drop for a total of $1,552.11. Respectfully submitted, Peter Pond, Sandra Ash, Sue Lipinski, and Leslie Zanella.
I'd like to make one adjustment. I did perform 2 weddings last year.
Okay.
So there are 2 weddings.
With the correction to 2 weddings, any other questions? I motion that the report be approved with the edit to 2 weddings.
Second the motion. We may now vote. Okay. So we have a. Okay. Our next, I believe we are all voted online, and the motion carries. Next is our Christian education report, submitted by our Christian education superintendent, Sandra.
Our classes continue to meet in the fellowship hall while we're waiting for the work in our classrooms to be completed. We currently have 6 children enrolled in our Sunday school, and thanks to Danielle and Stephanie for all the work that they do for that. Motion to accept.
Before we accept, I'd like to acknowledge all the great work that Stephanie and Danielle have done for the kids here, because let's be real, they plan and they implement the curriculum on the spot, they are so good with the kids, second the motion to accept. All in favor? Do we have any paper vote, yes votes on paper? And one yes vote on paper, and the motion carries. There are no votes. Next is our Minister of Music, our new Minister of Music, Tom Jones. Who will be elected after this meeting, hopefully. By you all.
The music ministry, you may have noticed, has been in transition with a new music minister, me. We really appreciated Jonathan. And there's been an experimental use of the keyboard, but mostly continuity has been emphasized. For the coming year, we have a few guest musicians, perhaps during worship, that have been contacted. And hopefully we can reach out to the community for a small concert. And so Saturday mornings, we have been meeting at 10 o'clock. Everybody's welcome to come. And the pastor and church leaders promised to become a worship committee with wider participation in music planning. So it's not just me, choosing hymns or anything, that it's open to the community. We have met weekly to practice the hymns for stronger confidence with new music during worship. So I motion that we accept the music.
The motion carries. Yes. I'd like to speak on that as well, if I could. I'd like to take the time to say thank you very much, Tom, for taking the extra time with us on Saturdays to help us. So thank you for that. And also for improving our worship and making it more immersive and really more uplifting. We really appreciate that as well. So thank you very much for that. Okay. Do we have any paper votes for yes to accept? Okay. So we have all yeses, one paper vote yes, and 0 no's. So the motion carries. The report is accepted. Did I get lost in my paperwork? Okay, yes. I think I have an extra paper in my stuff here. Okay, so maybe. Okay, so yes. Now we're going to be voting on our proposed slate of officers and committees. So anything that's new will have a star. So for example, you'll notice where it says Minister of Music, Thomas Jones has a star because he's new to this year, and this will basically elect him into his position. This will nominate him to his position. They're also in bold. Oh, are they? Some of them are in bold. Some of them are in bold, but all of them are starred. So elected to... so I'd like us all to take a moment to look at these committees. We have some spaces, and I can speak to that. We have some spaces on our committee list. If anybody would like to serve on any one of these committees that has a space, please feel free to reach out. Or please feel free to say now, and we can add your name to the slate of officers now. Also, in addition to this, we'll be voting on one of the resolutions is to add new committees to the slate of church officers and committees. And those new committees will be maintenance, worship, and multimedia. They were kind of mixed in with other committees before, but now they're going to have their own spot, their own space, and they're going to be... So we're not going to vote on that yet, but we are just looking right now at our proposed slate of officers. And I motion that we accept them and elect them to their positions.
I second that motion.
Okay. So we may now put this to a vote, to accept our slate of officers as printed, and to nominate new people to their positions. Yes.
So while I do additions like such as the clothing committee, the clothing closet downstairs, Danielle stands by my side about every single time.
Yes.
So I would feel like pretty.
Yes. So Danielle will be added to the missionary committee. Which question? Our missionary committee seems to be our fundraising committee, is that correct? Right. So our missionary committee, for all intents and purposes, serves as our fundraising committee. They are. You're right, yes. It had to have been, yeah.
Yeah, so let's add, I motion that we add fundraising committee itemized back on the list.
So,
It's basically the same people from the mission.
yes, or any new additions. So first, motion that we add the fundraising committee back into the slate of officers, and also that they would have the same officers as the missionary committee for now. Okay, all in favor, please turn to your tabulation devices and just give the moderator a second. Okay. Yes, great job, by the way, moderating, Peter. Thank you so much for that. So there is no option, but we can add that if you'd like. I added it now. So there was no. So are the paper votes, yes? Any paper votes, no?
Then I'd like to ask, does anybody want to add their name to any of these committees?
Yes.
Add yourself
To the missions committee, which also puts you on the fundraising committee for now. Or one or the other. Okay. All right. And, yep. Right. Yeah, we're going to need lots of worker bees because we got some good stuff coming up for 2026. So one thing that we talked about, and I'd like to express that now here before everybody. One thing that we talked about in our trustees meeting, our leadership committee meeting, is that all the hats that we wear. So one of the things that the leadership doesn't want to do anymore is we don't want to be solely responsible for organizing all of the fundraisers. We feel like we have a lot of extra stuff on our plates as it is, and having a dedicated fundraising committee will better suit the needs of the community and our church. So that's why we're talking more about this now as opposed to the previous years. It has fallen solely on the leadership committee to form and organize all the suppers and things like that outside of the Savers drops and the things that Stephanie is gracious enough to lead us in, which she does well. But outside of that, all that rests on the heads of the leadership, and we have so much going on. And so it would be better for the community, for the fundraisers themselves, if they organized, if they took more of an active role in organizing those fundraisers for us. So that, I think, is important to say. Because, I mean, some of the things that we talk about at our leadership meeting on the first Tuesday of the month, I mean, we all have so much going on, it's difficult to filter that information down during a 5-minute announcement the following Sunday and things like that. So some things do get missed, but again, these are things that we talk about, and we want you all to feel like you're part of that leadership of the church. Every person that sits here today leads this church in their own way. We move the church forward together as a team. So while we are, the leadership committee, we are all leading this church together forward. And having people wearing the correct hats helps so much, because we need our bags to deflate a little bit. Just playing. So, Yes, we only have 5 votes for the fundraising committee to be added. Now 6, or now 7. Okay. I was going to say, and that is not a majority, so I don't see any no votes either, though, so there are no no votes on here. The paper votes, yes? Okay. Any no paper votes? The motion carries, and our missionary committee and we will re-add our fundraising committee back to the slate, and we'll work on officers over the next coming weeks, just to make sure that's all secured. But getting it there is a really great step in the right direction. Okay. So our proposed slate of officers, I motion that we accept our slate of officers and elect people to their positions as nominated on this sheet. Okay. Please. We can. Would anybody like to nominate themselves to be moderator for next year's annual meeting? Right. We don't have an official church moderator, and it would be nice to have one. The moderator it takes a few seconds, but the moderator will lead us in all meetings. They will make sure the meetings move forward in a timely fashion. If anybody starts talking, they will snack the thing and say, no, no. Just playing. But we don't ever have that here. At our trustees meetings, though, we can sometimes use a moderator to speak up and say, hey, back to the thing. So you don't have to be leadership, but becoming a moderator will put you on the leadership committee, just so you know. Think about that over the next couple of weeks or whatnot if you'd like to. If you can't come up with a decision now, it's not a rushed thing, but we have all year to think about the next thing. And again, it's super easy to learn Robert's rules. I don't know if you've heard me use them now briefly. There are some things we take and some things we don't. I'm not even 100% proficient at it, to be honest. I'm like maybe 50% proficient. Leslie.
I'm just realizing, one of the things that we lost kind of hold on because of just the shift over COVID and all, the change in the owners who moved on after COVID, during COVID, is the treasurer, the collector, and the financial secretary should be 3 different people.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, Lauren did step up and take over collecting for me, but I am still doing both the treasurer job and the financial secretary, which technically I shouldn't be. It's a way to keep things kind of cross-checking.
Yes.
Financial secretary responsibility is to accept the pledges, keep track of what the pledges are, and each week when the envelopes are collected, Lauren gives me those envelopes, and I go into the spreadsheet and put in what the donations, from the envelopes were. And then at the end of the year, we do a report. So if there's anybody who wants to take that role on, I give it to treasurer, but I know that would probably be asking way more than
It's a heavy burden. Gold is heavy. Okay, let's be real. Let's say it's light, but it's not. It's heavy.
nobody steps in. I think that we should have an open role that I continue doing both jobs, so that I'm covered that.
So, all right, I hear 2 questions. Question 1, would anybody like to step up as financial secretary? If so, raise your hand. Okay. So, question 2 is, can we vote to allow Leslie to continue acting as financial secretary until such a time as one can be nominated, possibly next year? So, okay. We need a second for that motion. Okay. So we're going to poll Leslie to continue doing secretary job. And once that pops up, just tabulate there. Okay. Yes? I don't see it yet. Okay. Okay. Stylist. Yes? Okay, I see it. So we may now vote. Okay, yes. Right. So while we're waiting, paper votes yes? Okay. Any paper votes no? One paper vote yes. So far, we only have 4 yeses. Oh, you have 9. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, yep, it popped up. There we go. So the motion carries. Leslie will continue as our financial secretary as well as our treasurer. And I'd like to say she's doing a great job, an amazing job, and keeping us not spending anything. She's good. She's really good, so thank you for that. Okay. Yes. Yes, so now our vote is that do we accept the slate of officers as we've discussed and as printed, and elect people to their new positions, or sustain the ones that are there? Okay, so please vote. And this vote is to accept slate of officers and to elect them to their positions, as written. And then, other business. Oh, the budget, that's right, budget. Yes. The resolutions. Oh. It's okay, as long as someone's keeping track of, we have, okay, accurate polls, so that way we can put this forth in a report and produce that in a few weeks. Okay, yes. Do we have the vote yet? Okay. Okay. So then, all right, we have officially accepted, and the motion passes, and we've accepted all nominations for boards and officers. So congratulations to those who are new, and yes, thank you very much. Okay, so now moving on for our budget for 2026. And we'll do the resolutions first? Okay. So let's get to our resolutions. Okay? The first resolution, and this is written as an official resolution, did the best that I could to do it. So whereas we're going to look at resolution to add new committees to the slate of church officers and committees. Whereas the mission and ministry of our church continues to grow in scope, creativity, and community engagement and worship style. Whereas the congregation recognizes the need for dedicated teams to support worship, communication, and the care of the building. Therefore, be it resolved that the congregation approves the addition of the following standing committees to the official slate of church officers and committees. Multimedia Committee will be responsible for supporting worship and communication through audio-visual technology, live streaming, digital content, and media coordination. Our Worship Committee will be responsible for collaborating with the pastor and music ministry to plan, support, and enrich the worship life of the congregation, including seasonal services and liturgical elements. And last but not least, Maintenance Committee will be responsible for overseeing the care, repair, and upkeep of the church building, grounds, and equipment, and for coordinating volunteers and contractors as needed. Be it further resolved that these committees shall begin their work immediately upon election, and that their responsibilities shall be incorporated into the church's official ministry descriptions and the annual slate. Motion to accept this resolution to be put before a vote. I need a second. Okay, as long as someone approves. Okay, so now I would like us to vote whether to add this resolution to our situation, which is not the correct word. Okay. I'm glad that it won't let me vote twice. It didn't I tried to vote twice and it was like, no, you can't do that. You've already voted. Please select a different choice. So, paper votes yes. Please raise your hands. Okay. And paper votes no? Okay. 1 paper vote yes. 10 regular votes for yes. 0 no's. So the resolution passes and will be adopted into our Constitution and slate of officers. The second resolution is to rename the Board of Trustees as Leadership Committee. We have called ourselves many, many things, and there's a really good reason why we would like to change our name from the trustees to Leadership Committee. First, there were some questions as to whether or not it was legal. Well, we can call ourselves whatever we want as long as we have a president and at least 2 other trustees and a couple other officers as well, according to the state of Rhode Island. We need those to continue acting as a nonprofit organization. We have led the church for years with just the trustees, but for the past 5 years, we've opened up those to include other leadership leaders. So not just the trustees will meet on the Tuesday, we've included that to open up for anybody to come, especially if they lead a committee. So this resolution will officially rename the Board of Trustees as Leadership Committee. Going forward, we'll refer to ourselves as Leadership Committee, which will open up the doors of possibility for all. So whereas the congregation recognizes the importance of a leadership body that reflects the shared ministry, vision, and collaborative decision-making of the church, and whereas the current Board of Trustees has evolved to include both elected trustees and other key leaders of the church working together to guide the mission, stewardship, and administrative life of the congregation. Therefore, be it resolved that the body formerly known as Board of Trustees shall be renamed, not dissolved, as the Leadership Committee. And be it further resolved that the Leadership Committee shall assume all responsibilities, authorities, and duties previously assigned to the Board of Trustees, including oversight of church property, finances, administration, and long-range planning. Be it further resolved that all references to the Board of Trustees and the church governing documents, policies, and ministry description shall be updated to Leadership Committee as soon as practicable. So, do we have a second for this motion to accept the resolution? Okay. So let us now vote to accept or not accept. And paper votes yes. Please raise your hands. Any paper votes no? Okay. Okay.
So do the trustees still exist, but the monthly meeting is a leadership committee?
We haven't had official trustees in a long time.
Well, we've had a board of trustees.
We have.
Right. So does that mean we are no longer trustees?
We are still trustees.
Okay. So this will stay the same board of trustees?
The term, yes, the term.
Trustees, but then we'll also be, I guess that's where it's maybe a little confusing. That the board of trustees and leaders of other committees now make up the leadership committee.
No, it's more or less so, from what I remember, I was always asked to be a trustee at random. And we had 5 other random people. It was just randomly picked. There were no leaders of the committees there, barely.
They could come to meetings.
Right, but they really didn't have a voice. So we decided a long time ago to include other people in this meeting, but we never made it official. So this resolution seeks to make it official to allow those people to come to the meeting, to cast a vote, and things like that. Otherwise, everything we've done for the past 5 years has been illegal because we haven't had the right to do it according to our Constitution, essentially. Basically, we're not acting in the correct way, and so this seeks to correct some of the ways that we're not, that we're not.
But it will still, so that there will still be
And a trustee,
trustees,
right, yes.
plus we'll have a leadership committee, which is composed of
So leadership committee will act as the trustees. A trustee is somebody who's entrusted with the care, financial, and responsibility of an entity. And so we are still acting as trustees. It's just basically a name change. Yeah, essentially. We're still doing all the things we have done. We're just doing it in a legal fashion now, as opposed to willy-nilly. There's many other things that we're doing that's not correct, and we're trying to work really hard to correct those things so we can stay open in the future. Having an officially dedicated committee of leaders is definitely a step in the right direction, and one thing that the state of Rhode Island demands that we have. So, all right. If anybody would like to change their votes, you're more than welcome. You can. Okay, and the resolution passes. Wait a minute. Yes, the resolution passes, sorry. We're at 9, 10 to... Okay. So there we go. Okay, so this resolution will be added to our official documentation and register and all things going forward. All right. And again, if anybody else would like to know what other things we're working on, please, 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 if anybody would like to know in what other areas of life we're not doing things the correct way that we're trying to correct, please go to the trustees meeting or our leadership committee meeting the second Tuesday of every month to learn how we are trying to move ourselves forward in a positive and progressive way. So let's move forward in a positive and progressive way toward our budget, I believe. Which, Leslie, would you lead us in that?
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say this, the January through December 2025 fiscal report is attached at the back for the breakdown of where the money was spent. All right, so basically, we're not looking to change professional fees. So pastor's housing, minister music. Well, minister music, he elected to take a little bit less than the previous one did. So we are saving some money there. So the Ministry of Music is $3,000 this year versus, well, I'm a little off there. $75 less a month. And admin salary would stay the same. So that totals $14,960. Church properties, we're looking to increase. We spent $22,692 last year. I am proposing that we at least budget for $36,000 because of the potential. That includes all the general utilities, maintenance, janitorial supplies, trash removal. And then the water heater was replaced last year, and I know the dishwasher got some maintenance work to keep it going. But one of the boilers will need to be repaired or replaced, as well as the ongoing repair to the classroom. And the glass-walled refrigerator that we had died. So we may need to replace that with a small, like apartments, not a college-sized refrigerator like we have, but like that in between if we need. I did get an initial quote for the classroom wall. It's $10,000 if we go for the full package. $7,000 if we downscale it a little. We do need to get two quotes to kind of see what, where that really fits. So we upped it like $15,000 just to have a mindset of potential fundraising to do to cover some of those big slated items. The rubber roof continues to need patching. We've gone quite a few months now. Well, everything's frozen, so I guess that doesn't matter. But that's kind of up in the air every time. And right now, hopefully with heat loss and stuff, I know Joe, thank you, Joelle, that he repaired the third floor heat, so it's making its way through the office and upstairs. Yeah. No, 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 we've been doing, this church has been, yeah. This church has been using in-house skilled labor. Not to my knowledge. No, yeah, the church members did the rubber roof.
And also,
So,
I can speak a little bit to that. We are, even though we are a Mega Church of Christ church, we are 100% autonomous.
yeah,
We act in our own efficient way, in our own standards and things like that. But we do follow the core message that the United Church of Christ provides us with. We operate that core message in our own fashion. And that includes the maintenance of our buildings and things like that.
We
We're not
own-
paying for it, so. Yeah, you're legally allowed.
so we will be passing that continued exploration for the wall onto the new maintenance committee.
Right, that's what I'm
To include looking at what has to happen with that other boiler, as well as any other miscellaneous repairs for anybody who owns a house knows comes up.
So the maintenance committee, we use Google Keep, and it helps us all keep track of each other's, things like that in the leadership committee. The maintenance committee will have their own Google Keep that they can organize amongst themselves, and that will provide them and us with a way to add things to their list, and then to express what they need help with or have done. And I can show you that in the service, how we all kind of look at each other. We basically have, I've set up all these pinned notes and lists, and then I share them with everybody, so we can all see. No, it's more like Microsoft To Do. It's just a list of to do. It's super easy, and if you have a Google account,
It's-
you all have it, it's free.
Programs and operations, which includes, if we had to buy music, which we haven't done in a very long time, if I'm correct, Stephanie. I said, operations and programs, like that includes buying music, which we haven't done in forever, but if we were to have to. Yeah, okay. Christian ed supplies, publicity, office supplies, conference delegates, conference dues, state corporation renewal fees, and it does include purchasing of the offering envelopes, which a few people, I do get a little bit of that initial envelope, a few bucks it cost us. I forget now what it cost me last year. It's coming up for another round, $100 and something. So programs and operation totals, $14.92. So I'm just looking at general increase of, expenses to $2,000. So our anticipated budget request is $52,960. That bulk of that is that 15 for property repairs, which, I'm sorry, also includes the houses. So with our anticipated income from the pledges I received, which was $4,533, that leaves us a difference of $48,427. This happens every year, Lynn. We cannot count the house rentals as income because of just the structure of it. So last year we pulled in $34,820 from the rentals for the two houses. So that again leaves us about 13,000 short because, just kind of putting that out there because we're really going to need to focus on getting good quotes or finding out the skills in-house, and then fundraising. We did a good job last year with something to do with music and equipment and stuff, and Michael made a nice thermometer, and we got money for the speakers, and so that offset. So we'll just have to kind of be more proactive before things. So any questions about the proposed budget?
I have one question. had talked a couple of months ago about when we hired Tom. Tom had asked if we could take $25 a month from, not from his paycheck, but from what the amount that we had talked about originally doing, and dedicating that $25 a month to a music fund. We did agree, but I don't know if it's been done. Or if it's reflected here.
I don't have any
Okay.
recollection
So
of
then
that.
I would like to put forth the congregation that we could take $25 a month and put that into a dedicated music fund for purchasing, because the reality is, we have handbells that are very expensive and need to be polished. We had sent them out a few years ago, and they cost us like a few grand to get polished, $2,000 to get polished. You know, and so we were blessed enough. Yeah.
They assess it, they fix candles, they, different things like that, and they polish it by machine.
Yeah.
You can do it by hand,
Right.
it's just not as well.
But we can do it by hand, but let's think about that for a minute. If we do it by hand, it's gonna cost us so much money for the stuff, so much money for the, you know, the gloves that are needed to polish, and the rags, and so that has to come from somewhere.
Right.
And so,
Completely guaranteed, because we had them, we sent them to Knopper,
okay,
which is the brand of the bells.
right.
They're completely guaranteed.
So I would like to dedicate $25 a month into this music fund, so that way when things come up, like we need music, we need new music for the handbells, Tom might need something for something he has going on.
Okay. So you want me to add to the line items for program and operation 25 times 12 for the, specifically to music equipment?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't do that right now.
Me too, that's why I said 25 times 12.
That's 25.
Yep.
It's 75.
Per month, I'm just writing it down so I don't forget. And on that note, I think I have found a new financial program that's like, I think it said $48 a month. I've been playing around with it, they get you free to go in and out. I tried one and it was like, I'm like confused. So I went into another one and I'm really liking it. So I'll be able to bring that to the trustee meeting, the leadership
You're
meeting.
using something from 2012.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago. And no longer suits our needs.
So this will allow me to itemize.
$300 a year, by the way, is what we're proposing that we,
Comes out to 300?
yeah.
So that brings programs and operations up to 2,300, with 300 specifically going to the music equipment line item. Do I'll second that motion that Michael made.
All in favor? Please, do you have it as ready?
And I,
Go to your tabulation devices.
no further questions, I propose that the budget as discussed, written and discussed with edits, be accepted.
Okay, don't worry, we're gonna get it almost done. So yes? Okay. And then accept the budget as well, please vote on that.
Okay, Judge, we need to do
Okay.
Yeah, so any, manual vote to accept the budget?
Please raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay.
So whatever the electronic vote is plus 2 for the budget, and to add the $25 a month dedicated to the music fund, and the manual votes for that, yes?
Yes,
And so
Both.
electronic plus.
both have passed.
Okay, just plus 1 for the, yeah, plus 1 for the, music dedicated.
Both have passed. So we're already passed on the budget. I believe this concludes.
Motion to conclude this annual meeting.
Wait, not yet, not yet, not yet. Brothers and sisters, let us be in the spirit of prayer. Yes?
I didn't know if we had looked at it.
No, not yet. Okay. Let us be in the spirit of prayer. We thank you, great provider, for opening your hands to us and for making them as wide as humanly possible. We thank you for all of our decisions and discernment brought here today. We thank you for our fully common collective nature. Amen. And yes, Leslie, if you'd like to motion.
We adjourn and have
I second that, and yes, let's get lunch. Any opposed? Okay. Yes. So I'd like everyone to tabulate one last time. Please vote to end meeting. Okay. So there we go. That is an official wrap. There's lots of food downstairs. It's being tabulated now. I don't believe anyone will say no, but on the way down, please. Thank you for moderating. Yes. Okay. Anyone wants to come take the